up? Back down here in historic Fredericksburg, and in front of the old St. George's Church, and across the street is the old Farmers Bank. And I thought I'd come back out here. Gonna take a walk around the Fredericksburg Area Museum, and I didn't even know there was a museum in town until about a month ago when I visited Mary Washington's place. So anyway, thought I'd come by, take a walk through, and go over some of the Fredericksburg history. And just to let you know, this the museum's building was actually the old city hall. So check this place out. All right, so this area back here is called Heirlooms and Relics. Picture of the Marmion plantation that's out in King George, and it was owned by the Fitzhughs, same family that owned Chatham Manor. This guy doesn't look too happy. Colonel Henry Willis. I've never heard of him. Okay, he's part of the Willis family. Looks like he had a house up on Willis Hill, off Sunken Road, over near Marie's Heights, over by the National Cemetery. All right, here's a sack from the old Germana Mill. The mill's still here in town, and it's abandoned. And yeah, there's a picture of it when it burned down. Back in 1876. And it was built by John Meyer, and his daughter actually was one of the founders of Mary Washington, Annie Meyer. And yeah, the original Mary Washington Hospital that was built off Sophia Street in 1899. All right, some relics from the old Hunter's Iron Works, and big ironworks plant up the Rappahannock, a little north of the city, just south of the old Embry Dam. And they're famous for building a lot of the muskets and weapons during the Revolutionary War, and making a lot of tools and cooking ware. Okay, Alexander Spotswood's tubal furnace. It's all right, here are a couple of muskets made over at the Hunter Iron Works from the Revolutionary War. Here's some Chippendale furniture made here in town, and made by the Robert and William Walker. And some of the houses I've been to have actually had some of their furniture. I know off the top of my head, Smith's Fort down there in Surrey County had one of their chairs. And yeah, supplying some of the region's most prominent families like the Carters, the Lees, over at Stratford Hall. Okay, and over here's another famous Fredericksburg resident, and from the Mori family, prominent family here in Fredericksburg. And so this one would be James Mori. He went to went to school with Thomas Jefferson, became a diplomat, worked over in Liverpool, England. Thomas Jefferson helped get him that job. And he's actually not the most famous Mori. The Matthew Mori, I think it would be his, I don't know, his nephew. I'm not sure how they're connected, but Matthew Mori from here in Fredericksburg. And he was popular because he was a naval, and he was an oceanographer, and he wrote the first accurate map of, drew the first accurate map of ocean currents. So Yeah, he's the one that everything here in town is named after. The football stadium, there's a road named after him. There is also a Civil War general, can't think of his first name right now, but another famous Mori. So, okay, it would be Dabney Mori was the Civil War general. Don't know this guy. And there was a famous clockmaker here in town, this guy, John Wiedemeyer. I think that's how you pronounce it. And, yeah, clock over at Federal Hall there, off Hanover Street. Ugh. Okay, another popular figure, this guy, John Washington. He was actually a slave. He worked across the street at the old Farmers Bank. And in 1862, when the Union troops occupied Falmouth, he led an emancipation. About 10,000 slaves crossed the Rappahannock there at Falmouth, and they marched about 14 miles to Aquia Harbor, where they got on ships and took off to the northern cities, Philadelphia, New York, and so on. Okay, some merchants in Liverpool gave some of the silver to James Mori for his work over there. All right, some paintings of some prominent figures here in town. Okay, this would be Warren Slaughter. His brother was the mayor of Fredericksburg during the Civil War. And here's his wife, Sally Braxton Slaughter. And they lived over at Hazel Hill, down on the south end of Princess Anne Street. The house is gone. It's there's a Section 8 housing over there now. But okay, so yeah, this would be the man. This is Frederick Lewis. This is who Fredericksburg's named after, and it was King George II's son. He was also Prince of Wales, and he actually died 9 years before his father because he was next in line to the throne. Yeah, so anyway, he died before his father, but his son also became the third, and that's who he fought during the Revolutionary War. So, all right, this guy from the Hall family, John Hall, owned a pharmacy off of Caroline Street. And he's the grandson of John Carter from the famous Carter family, one of the big first families here in Virginia. And it seems like anybody prominent is related to somebody in that family. Virginia Knox, and local resident. She lived over at the Kenmore Inn. And wow, she had 14 children, 6 died as babies. 6 of her sons fought for the Confederacy. All survived. So, all right, so gonna head down to the bottom level, see what's down there. Fun. Yeah, I know each year there used to be a big soapbox derby race here in town, and I'm not sure that they still have them, but I know at one time it was a national event. All right, so this is from the Farmers Bank, like I say, from across the street. And yeah, say iron safe. It was, iron trunk. It was pretty much a safe. It was too heavy to steal, so nah, I'm not gonna touch it. Gun collection here from this guy, Dr. Johnson. And a bunch of old muskets from the 1840s up through the Civil War. Over here, some Colt revolvers. Railroad bell, 400-pound brass bell. This must be from the segregation days. Bathroom door, 1950. Found a Falmouth gas station. The old slave block, they've taken that down. Alright, so the Gristmill Stone over here. Yeah, old Millstone. And this would be the top stone. And how it worked is you had two stones. Bottom stone was stationary. This is upside down. But the top stone would spin. You would pour the grain down the center. Stones would crush the grain into flour. It would be further refined, but that's how it worked. A Spanish olive jar. It's kind of random. And a little interactive display here. Alright, so I think that's it for the first floor. And there's one last section I haven't checked out. Mary Washington Monument. I was over there a couple weeks ago. Picture of the Fredericksburg Grays. Looks like a Civil War reunion. And Daughters of the Revolution. Looks like a parade. And this is dedicated to the new Jeff Davis Highway, which is Route 1. little dedication to Marquis Lafayette. He was here in 1824. It was a stop on his tour of America. It was a big tour he went on at the time. And if you don't know, he was a famous French general during the Revolutionary War, and he helped us win Yorktown. All right, in 1900, President McKinley stopped by. He was here for a Union Civil War reunion. Union Army of the Potomac. And a cool little picture of Caroline Street. And like I say, this is the old City Hall, the building that we're in. And it was the City Hall from 1816 until 1982. And over here, the gears to the clock on the St. George's Church. So, big flood here in town in 1942. It took out the Falmouth Bridge, and I know that's the year they had to rebuild it. Old Chatham Bridge. And pontoon bridge used during the Civil War across the Rappahannock. And this would be a weight, actually, that was used to help weight tobacco. Okay, so yeah, this is dedicated, I guess, partly to the slave trade. Slaves would come up the Rappahannock to the city dock. Slaves were brought to that auction block and sold. All right, so Fredericksburg in the 1930s, and that was actually a really booming time, despite the Depression, mainly because of this Sylvania plant. And it was a cellophane plant down at what is now the Industrial Park. And and this Virginia Shirt Company, that was another big employer in the area. And landmark here in the city is this big grain elevator. Some artifacts from the cellophane plant. The old Bumbers Cab Company was a popular black-owned business here in the city. And I guess this would be kind of the civil rights area. And Walker Grant was the black high school here in town. The Gorrick's Drugstore, another popular place here in town. And it's been in business for 150 years. kind of cool seeing the old pictures with the dirt roads down Caroline Street. And old telephone switchboard. Old nurse's cape from Mary Washington Hospital. See the initials on the side. And these capes were worn up until about the 1970s, it's saying. And this is an electroshock machine. These were popular in the 1930s, it's saying. Charity School. Mori Hotel. All right, I think I've seen it all. So, yeah, pretty cool museum. So, anyway, see you.